The Paradise Club was a loud, boisterous establishment filled with thick smoke, blaring jazz music, and the clinking of heavy glass mugs. Gomer sat rigidly in a semicircular booth, looking entirely out of place in his crisp Marine uniform. Across from him sat Natalie, a woman whose brightly colored clothing and loud, brassy voice were a stark contrast to Gomer's quiet, respectful nature. Oh, yes. Natalie laughed loudly, slapping the table. Before your friend Sergeant Carter got hung up on this bunny friend of his, we used to have some really great times together. And what a sense of humor. Let me tell you, every time he used to pick me up at my apartment, he used to drag his foot all the way down the hall, like out of one of those horror movies. Is that not too much? I mean, for a sergeant, he was really funny. Gomer stared straight ahead, barely blinking, his heart aching for Lou Ann. Natalie finally paused and looked at him. Oh boy, you surely do not talk much, do you, honey? What, ma'am? Gomer replied softly. You are still with a ma'am, huh? It is Natalie. Natalie. I am sorry. I guess I just was not thinking, Natalie. A waiter passed by, and Natalie grabbed his arm. Here you go, old pal, old buddy. Now bring us 2 of your best drinks. She turned back to Gomer. My, this is some wild place. Do you come here often? Huh? Oh, no, just now and then. Naturally, I did not begrudge Vince Carter anything, Natalie rambled on, completely oblivious to Gomer's misery. I mean, if he wants to go out with one of those brassy dames, I would say all the more power to him. But for instance, tonight, he wanted me to do him a favor. So I said, surely you know what I mean. Gomer sighed deeply, looking away. What is the matter? Natalie asked. Are you having trouble getting the waiter? Hey, Charlie, will you come over here when you get a minute? I think I will just go check the powder room. Why do you not order me a beer? That is, if you do not mind sparing a few words. Yes, ma'am. Natalie. Terrific. You are really making headway, she muttered sarcastically, standing up and marching away. At that very moment, Lou and Monroe were seated at a table on the opposite side of the club. The loud music made conversation difficult, which suited Lou Ann perfectly. Hey, Lou Ann, Monroe shouted over the music. I do not know exactly how to say this, not being as smooth with words as I am with football, but... Lou Ann caught a glimpse of a familiar uniform across the room. Her breath hitched. If you will excuse me, Monroe, if you do not mind, I just got this terrible feeling that my lipstick is on crooked. I will be right back. Sure thing. What do I have in store? Lou Ann hurried away from the table, navigating through the crowded dance floor toward the ladies' lounge. As she approached, she accidentally bumped into a woman in a brightly colored dress. Excuse me, Lou Ann said politely. You are my guest, Natalie replied, dusting off her shoulder. Lou Ann hesitated, recognizing the woman's bold demeanor from Sergeant Carter's description. Oh, I do not mean to be forward or anything, but about that Marine you are with, what is his name? Natalie looked at her with suspicion. Why? Oh, nothing. It is just that, well, he looks so familiar. A whole lot like somebody I know. Tortured. That is what he looks like. Tortured. Oh, what do you mean? Natalie threw her hands up in exasperation. Oh, it is a long, dull story. I am sure you do not want to hear it. What is it? Lou Ann pressed. Well, I do not even know this guy. I am just sitting home alone, minding my own business, when who should call but this guy's sergeant? He is an old friend, right? So I will do him a favor. His buddy needs cheering up, so I will go out with him. You know how it is. I do not know this guy from Adam, but I figure maybe I will get lucky. Some luck. Thousands of Marines on this base. And I happen to get a guy whose one big talent in life is blinking and staring. And do you know why? Because he is torturing. That is why. Some dame threw him over, and he is just blinking, and... Natalie stopped, noticing profound realization dawning on Lou Ann's beautiful face. You know something, sister? You are pretty nosy. Lou and did not wait to hear another word. She turned on her heel and marched directly toward the semicircular booth. She found Gomer sitting exactly as Natalie had described, blinking, staring, utterly heartbroken. She walked right up to the table. "Come on, Gomer, let us dance." Gomer looked up, his jaw dropping in absolute disbelief. "Lou, and I really do not feel like it." "Oh, come on," she insisted, grabbing his large hand and pulling him gently to his feet. "Now, promise me you will not faint, or hang on to your hat. Here it comes." Just as they reached the edge of the dance floor, Monroe appeared from the crowd, a smug smile on his face. "Oh, Monroe, let us dance first," he declared, trying to cut in. "Boy, Lou," Gomer said quietly, stepping back. "You surely know how to build up the suspense. I will give you that." The band struck up a fast, rhythmic tune. "Hey, yes, now that is what I call a beat. Go, go, go," Monroe shouted, trying to grab Lou-Ann's hand. Lou-Ann yanked her hand away and turned to face Gomer directly, ignoring Monroe entirely. "Gomer-Pyle, you just ought to be ashamed of yourself." Gomer lowered his head respectfully. "I am surely sorry to be here with that other lady, but it really was not my idea. And besides, I did not want to stand in the way." Monroe made it pretty clear. Lou-Ann's eyes narrowed. "Made what pretty clear? What are you talking about?" Even show me the ring," Gomer confessed softly, pointing a finger at Monroe. Lou-Ann gasped, the pieces of the puzzle finally snapping together perfectly. "Do you mean to say that Monroe told you that we were engaged? You mean you are not?" Gomer asked, a sudden burst of brilliant hope illuminating his eyes. "Oh, what a horrible man he is," Lou-Ann declared, glaring at Monroe with undisguised contempt. "And what a horrible man you are for believing him." Gomer blinked. "You mean you want to go write me a Dear John letter?" "Gomer," Lou-Ann scolded, though a smile threatened to break through her anger. Gomer stood up straighter, his chest puffing out with newfound courage and righteous clarity. He turned his attention fully onto Monroe. "Excuse me, Lou-Ann." "Monroe." "Hey, Gomer, old pal, are you here, too?" Monroe stammered, his confident facade crumbling instantly. "Would you step outside?" Gomer asked, his voice calm but carrying the undeniable authority of a true gentleman who had been wronged. "There are few words I want to say to you." "Oh, no, Gomer," Lou-Ann pleaded, suddenly worried about violence. "Please, Lou-Ann, just wait right here," Gomer instructed gently. He turned back to Monroe. "Outside where it is nice and private, considering this is a personal matter." "Yes, surely after you," Monroe muttered nervously, following Gomer toward the exit. "Gomer, what happened to you? What are you doing anyway?" Lou-Ann called out. "Lou-Ann, just wait right here," Gomer repeated over his shoulder. "Well, Gomer, where are you going? What is going to happen to me?" Gomer led Monroe through the heavy wooden doors and out into the cool, quiet alleyway behind Club. Away from the prying eyes and the blaring music, the night air was still and tense. "Now then, what is it you want, friend?" Monroe asked, backing away slightly. "This is not private enough," Gomer said, moving further into the shadows. "Step back here in the alley." Monroe swallowed hard, preparing for the worst. He raised his hands defensively. Gomer stopped and looked the man directly in the eyes. He did not raise his fists. He did not shout. He simply stood tall, his moral character shining brighter than any street lamp. "The reason I wanted complete privacy is I got a score to settle with you," Gomer said, his voice ringing with absolute clarity and conviction. "And this is the only way I know how to handle it." Gomer raised one large finger and pointed directly at Monroe's chest. "Shame, shame, shame for telling two different stories and causing all that unhappiness. That was downright deceitful of you." Monroe forward. Monroe stood completely frozen, utterly dismantled by the sheer, unadulterated goodness and honesty of the reproach. It was a victory far greater than any physical blow could ever deliver. Having said his piece, Gomer turned his back on the deceitful man and walked confidently back through the heavy wooden doors of the Paradise Club.